What's up, everyone? Me, your host, Session, Red Devils Talk. We are back. Manchester United transfer news. Let's speak about it. But before we do that, subscribe to the channel, drop a like, hit the notification bell. The transfer window is closing soon, and even though we thought that we will not make a few signings before Friday, we had to, considering how our season started, injuries, performances, we had to make a few signings. And there has been quite a few things going on surrounding Manchester United and incomings and outgoings, and we'll speak about all that in today's video. So, firstly, we'll speak about Donny, who with FC Lorient has agreed a loan deal. Now, we needed another midfielder out of the door, and it seemed like Scott McTominay, Donny van de Beek were the next players to go. And we seemed to have wanted fees for the likes of McTominay and Donny van de Beek. But the people above Ten Hag certainly do suck at selling players or getting rid of players. I mean, the likes of Maguire is still here. Eric Bailly had to leave on a free. The likes of Donny going out on loan, we cannot even get a fee for him. That's how bad we are at selling players. And even though it helps in terms of getting other players in, and we'll speak about Cucurella, Amrabat, etc., but it just shows that the Glazers actually are not good owners. We've seen this time and time again, and once again, it has come to fruition that the Glazers are holding us back. This is literally, we are looking at a fourth loan, and I'm not even talking about Donny right here. I'm talking about the players that we are potentially getting in. How is it possible that we can not even afford players that are at least 20 million? Example, Amrabat. And that is concerning, and definitely should have been a question raised by so many reporters. But they focus on when we play badly. They focus on decisions that are correctly awarded to us and say that it's not the correct decision. It kind of creates this space where no matter what we do, it's not good enough. And when we do reach a certain target that is deemed as good enough, it still isn't good enough. So we never really win as Manchester United in the media or as fans. And the Glazers don't make that any easier for us. As I said, they are sucking at running the club. They don't know what they are doing, and they still want to stick around and drain the club even more of any money that they can. We continue to be a cash cow for them because they certainly won't release any funds from themselves out of their own pockets to assist with buying players, like every owner that is a respectable owner, a responsible owner would do for their football club, whether male or female. So the first bit of news, as I said, Donny going on loan to FC Lorient. United and FC Lorient have agreed a loan deal, and he will be making his way to France. Secondly, I've spoken about Cucurella being the target for Ten Hag as a left back. I know we were looking at the likes of Tagliafico, Sergi Regulon, and Marcos Alonso, but Fabrizio has reported that we've agreed personal terms with Marc Cucurella, and he is close to joining United, and we are close to agreeing a deal with Chelsea. Now, from the left backs that were available, Cucurella was, in my opinion, had Tagliafico still been the number one target, he would have been the second choice. But because I feel we couldn't go for Tagliafico because there was a mandatory buy option that was reported to be part of that deal with FC Lyon, I don't think that we actually wanted to have a mandatory buy option, considering that it's only cover for Luke Shaw when he returns. However, the fact that we have chosen to go for Marc Cucurella is good, because David Ornstein reports that United and Ten Hag feel that it is a perfect opportunity and that he is a perfect candidate for Ten Hag's system. Now, the Cucurella that was at Brighton was a very, very good player. A reason why Chelsea spent the money that they did on him. And of course, they had Graham Potter at the time, and you expected him to do the same that he did for Brighton. But settling into a bigger team, a bigger club, with a new manager as well, different pressures, different environments. Not all players would excel personally in that particular environment. And at Brighton, Cucurella was part of a very good team, a very good technical team that is good at holding the ball, and right now still are under Roberto De Zerbi. So if we get that Cucurella, if Ten Hag can get the Cucurella that was at Brighton, then we have a serious player on our hands on the left-hand side. And if he can link up well with Rashford and tactically do what Ten Hag wants of his fullbacks, then we certainly will have a much better ball possession game. And of course, in the counter, when we are defending and transitioning to defending, Cucurella has the pace to drop back. He has the pace to get back into position, and he's fairly good defensively. So it's not all in all a bad deal. Yes, of course, as I spoke about the Glazers saying that they are holding us back, and we probably should not be looking at loan deals only, and we should be spending money on quality players for Ten Hag. But we know how the Glazers work. It's all about money. It's the Glazeronomics effect, and it's all about how they can save for themselves and do the bare minimum for the manager. So Ten Hag, seeing Cucurella, seeing a Mason Mount, it's players that he feels he can potentially improve and players that can take another step to a higher level and be part of a working, consistent, possession-based team that transition well. And Cucurella's got so much speed. He's got so much acceleration off the mark. When we do counter, when we do find ourselves defending, he will be a very good asset. And not to mention his technical ability. He is quite good on the ball and has a very good delivery from set pieces and from crossing. And, you know, that does help us on the left-hand side. And perhaps him with Martinez there provides a much better passing outfit from the back on the left-hand side, like we would have a Luke Shaw. Moving along, the transfer that I was waiting for and the transfer that I've hoping for us to do since the end of June, Sofyan Amrabat. As you see in the thumbnail, we are working on a deal, a loan deal for Sofyan Amrabat with Fiorentina, as reported by David Ornstein. And it is said that Fiorentina are open to having a loan deal with an option to buy. His contract does expire next season, so if we don't sign him as a player while he's on loan with us, we can sign him as a free. And he has waited for us. Fabrizio has reported that he's waited for us since the end of June and only wants Manchester United. And again, that brings in the conversation of the players that only wanted Manchester United and only wanted to play for Ten Hag, i.e. Onana, Mount, Højlund. Now Amrabat and Cucurella making a choice, wanting to come to Manchester United with personal terms being agreed already. There is a trend of players that Ten Hag is bringing in. Yes, it might not be the high quality profile players or players that are unknown, and that is because Ten Hag does not trust our scouting department. So therefore he goes for players that he knows and players that are quality that he feels he can improve upon. The only player that you can say is not part of his, have they played for him and have they come from the Dutch league, is simply Cucurella. And now the goalkeeper Bayern Dur, we'll speak about close to the end of the video. But Amrabat, us getting him is absolutely crucial. We've seen the problems in midfield that we've had, and we've seen the likes of Casemiro that would need a break. And Amrabat being there provides less defensive pressure and work for Casemiro, but also puts us in a position to play tactically different in midfield. Amrabat is a number 8 controller, is very good defensively, can play passes in between the lines and control the tempo of the game. And of course, he can play as a number 6, and not just any number 6, a deep lying playmaker that is defensively astute. He's a player that will definitely change our midfield game and change the way we approach certain games, i.e. the bigger games where we most likely won't have that much of the ball against a City, etc. So we need to get Amrabat in. Good news that we are working on a loan deal. And again, the Glazeronomics effect comes into play. We can't even afford him at 21 million, which is what Fiorentina decided to lower their asking price for him for. So us getting him on loan is a positive, but we need to get rid of the Glazers. We can't continuously looking to get loan players, short-term deals, etc. We need to start backing the manager fully. But Amrabat, being a player that is potentially on his way, in my opinion, is on his way to United, is a very, very good thing. And I am definitely excited for that. Lastly, Bayern Der, the Turkish goalkeeper from Fenerbahce, he has signed his contract and is a Manchester United player. Of course, there is official announcements, etc. But we have our backup goalkeeper to Onana. And of course, Dean Henderson has completed his move to Crystal Palace. That is the reason why we replaced him with Bayern Der. And from what I've seen with Bayern Der, he is a goalkeeper that is quite capable. Has the ball good at his feet, can make, good saves, is quite tall, so when he plays for us, when that game arises, we'll definitely have a better look at him. But we have a backup goalkeeper, and that is basically what Ten Hag wanted. So just a run through: Donny, loan agreement, FC Lorient, he is on his way there. Cucurella, personal terms agreed, and a deal with Chelsea is close to being agreed. Sofian Amrabat, we are working on a loan deal for him with Fiorentina, and Bayern Der, the Turkish goalkeeper, has signed his Manchester United contract. So things are moving. We seem to be getting the deals that Ten Hag needs in. I would hope that we're perhaps getting another forward. The likes of João Felix, Mehdi Taremi being available would be an option for me. And I would love to see us get another forward, because Højlund and Martial cannot be the only two strikers we have at the club. But there is still 2 days left. So let's see exactly where Manchester United find themselves and who is still on their way out and coming in. But thank you for joining me in today's video. I appreciate the support. Drop a like, hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, please. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye, Red Devils. Till we speak again soon.